What's going on?
Hey everybody! Instead of music today, you get to listen to my voice talking about my lifts in the 3 last years. This was my very first lift, and I remember how excited I was, and I trained really hard for it. At 51 kilos, this was something I was very proud of. And this is also when I started understanding how mobility plays into Olympic weightlifting. Now, this was my second lift at a competition a few months later, and I am happy to have added some kilos, and I was really, really happy that it went well. Now, this lift, you can see my mobility has gotten a little bit better, and it's almost been a year since I started lifting. Wow, almost a full squat, and it was outside and the weather was gorgeous. So, good. Now here we go. This is in the next year, and this was to qualify for the Arnold's. And here you can see that the mobility has gotten a lot better already, and I'm at 54 kilos. The snatches were not great that day, and I only made 1 out of 3. Now here, we are at the Arnold's. I remember I could not sleep the night before, and I was so excited to lift on the center stage. Even though COVID had made it difficult to have a lot of spectators, it was still a huge moment in my so-called weightlifting career. And here we have the latest lift at 61 kilos. This was not a PR, but it is me becoming more comfortable with putting 61 plus kilos over my head. My coach and I are hoping that we can get into the 70s in the next year. So I'm staying tuned for that. Now, we'll move into watching a slow motion comparison of my very first competition to the latest lift that I showed. Goes well. I think what's beautiful about this comparison is that the mobility has just improved so much over the last few years. It really does show that with consistency of lifting and some mobility work, it can really make a difference. My shoulders still have a long way to go to be perfectly mobile, but this is a great start. All right, now done with the snatches, let's move on to the clean and jerks. So we start with the first competition, and I was cleaning 65. I remember shaking after cleaning and jerking this weight, and now I do this on the daily. I had to fast forward the middle part because it takes me forever to stand there before preparing for my jerk. Now the next competition, I added some weight to it, so now we went up by 3 kilos. And the cleans and jerks are not as technical as the snatch, but it's more a matter of strength. So this is something that can take years to build up. But you can see my shoulder mobility in the jerk still needs improvement. Here we are in October 2019. I've added quite a lot, almost 8 kilos to the bar. And there we go. It was shaky, but I made it. Now, sometimes in weightlifting, you don't always get what you've done before. Your PRs are never something that you can take for granted, but we have to work hard every day to do the best that we can on that day. And that's a mindset that I really learned at this competition, where I only got 1 snatch out of 3 and then still had to move on to try to complete as many clean and jerks as possible. And now we're back at the Arnold's, my favorite competition. And here I also managed to squeeze out a 74 kilo clean and jerk, which I was very proud of after coming back after snatching 1 out of 3. Now here is my latest lift at 82 kilos. So since I started, I've almost added 20 kilos to the clean and jerk, which is awesome. So it really does, again, show that consistency really improves both your strength and your technical skills for Olympic weightlifting. And here, still not perfect and still a long way to go. So now let's move into the clean and jerk slow motion comparisons. Seems very similar. You can see that I'm quicker in the more recent lift, but I'm taking my time in the older video here. That's something that I'm still working on, is that patience. The clean seems very similar. I'm a slow grinder when it comes to getting out of the clean. I still take forever to get prepared for the jerk. And then now, I still have some space to go when I go down for that mini squat before the jerk. And you can see my shoulder mobility has not improved by a lot, and there's still work to do there. But, I mean, almost 20 kilos added, that's fantastic. So that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. And hopefully we can add another 10, 20, 30 kilos to both lifts. Bye!